Well, hi everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're located. It is my great personal pleasure here to have an old friend return here for a live stream, or as I'm going to call it on this channel, life stream. And we're talking about Danny. Danny's back. What's
Good
going on,
morning.
Danny?
Not too much, Joe. How are you?
Oh, doing well, doing well. Been missing these things. People have been asking me. Sometimes you might see them in my live stream. Some people say, "What's going on with Danny? Have you talked to Danny?" I'm like, maybe he's watching. I said, I don't know. I say all the time, I haven't talked to him lately, or blah blah blah. But now here you are, and welcome back. And we got a couple of people here. James Farley.
Good morning, James. How are you, James? Old
Dave,
reliable.
and look at that. Dave on the record says, "God bless Danny."
Good morning, Dave. Yeah, thank you. You too.
Yeah, we got stuff that we're going to talk about, and I'm doing them here on this channel here. I'll probably repeat this a few times. This is not going to be an every morning thing. People might think, "Oh, he's back here every morning with Dan." We used to do every morning, but not every morning. But let's see how it goes. Maybe we could do once a week or something like that.
Yeah, he'll change his mind. He'll do it. He'll do it 7 days a week. Just give him some time.
Yeah. Hello, Uncle Paul. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I always change my mind. As a matter of fact, the name of this channel will be changing soon, and I've got a poll up there. So please check the poll that I have about the time. I mean, I'm going to do what I want to do regardless, but I'm still curious of people's opinions. I want to have the name of Mayo in there because as Uncle Paul suggested, and I thought too, it's good to have some kind of branding familiarity with the name. I have my main channel, which is Mean Mr. Mayo. Then I have the other channel for movies, which is Mr. Cinemayo. And then I figured, how about Mayo Loves Mondays? I like to put the Monday in there, because it's my way of saying, hey, I'm retired. I don't hate Mondays anymore, that kind of thing.
Joe, when are you going to start your fourth channel?
Well, three. I tell you, Danny, three is a lot. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I know. That's why people should donate. I highly believe that.
Yeah, is that really Danny or AI? Mr. Blood Vessel wants to know.
Blood Vessel, yeah, you know where I live. I'll wait for you to come here. You know what I mean?
I forgot about Andrea. Hello, thank you for joining us here today.
Hi, Andrea. Good morning.
Yay! Christian says good morning. I'm so happy to see this duo back together again. This is the King of Chaos, and I forgot to announce him that way. The King of Chaos. This guy is. He drives me nuts.
In the past, we used to come on every morning, stuff like that. I used to piss him off. I pissed him off so much, he stopped the streams.
Well, it's not because of that, only, But I think I can take you maybe once a week or something like that. Maybe. Dino.
Dino,
Down boy.
Dino inboxed me yesterday for about 2 hours. He was so overjoyed to see me,
Great. I love it. People love Danny. It's great to see you back. Hello, Sam.
Oh, that's
give him a subscription, by the way, Americana Sam. He's a good guy and he's got a cool channel. He just did an interview with rock legend Tommy James.
He changed his name. That's that young kid that plays guitar that used to go on Glenn Calloway's and Larry Graves. Oh, he's a cool dude. Hi, good morning. Good morning. How are you? I love your voice. I love your playing. I used to watch your videos. You're really good. Really good.
By the way, I want to say this. I'm sorry if I don't get everybody. Also, subscribe, of course, to Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse, please. Another nice guy that I met at the last fest for Beatles fans.
That's a mouthful right there. Good morning. Good morning.
Now, I noticed this, too. That's a very nice picture you got back there, Danny. It says, class up the joint with some new decor. I like that picture.
Yeah, this is an original painting by Paul De Leffler, his name. It's called the Red Caboose, and I looked it up on the computer, and it's worth about $2,000. I got it for nothing.
Wow. That's a
It's
good deal.
really nice. If you've seen it in real life, it's very detailed. You know, you can see the gravel on the side of the tracks. And stuff. Really cool. You know. Yeah, anytime, Mr. Blood Vessel. Don't worry about it.
Let me tell you, I know Mr. Blood Vessel. He's a good guy. He's all a jokester. He's a jokester. Don't worry about it.
I know. I see him at the record store. I know all about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
There you go. I'll tell you the love. I'll tell you the love. There you go.
Oh, you know.
50 Thunderer. How you doing? How you doing?
Name looks familiar because I watched the videos. Good morning. Good morning.
I tell you, there's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. Let's start.
You know what? I'm pissed off. I'm really pissed off at this society because you know what they do. You buy something in the store and try to read the contents. You can't read anything.
Oh, I could read them. Sure.
You can't.
I just use my glasses. That's all.
I don't really have to use glasses. I have to use a magnifying glass to see the print. Unbelievable.
Are you used to using a magnifying glass when you go to the restroom and stuff? I was wondering.
Yeah, to find my thing. Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This is the kind of fun you got here, folks. I figured to have Danny here is a good thing because this is kind of like, I call it, I don't like saying retirement channel because then people who are younger or not retired won't be here. But it's retirement, but it's also, you know, two guys that aren't working anymore here, right? And we're kind of living life now in our later years. More later for Danny than me because he's older than me.
60. I just turned 69 in May. So this the last year of my 60s. Now I'm 70. It's going to hit me hard. You know, I might party a little bit because I had 70.
Hey, late happy birthday to you. And I will also say that 69 is my favorite number. So
yeah, good sex position. Excellent. I know what you mean, Joe.
Yeah. And yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. That'll really help. Please subscribe. Anybody here who's not subscribed to the channel, please do. We'll be doing stuff like this now and then. It'll be fun.
You know, Joe puts his heart and soul into his channels and stuff like that, you know, so he appreciates everything that you do, you know. Hit that like button. It doesn't cost you anything, you know. It helps the channel.
It's a loafing channel. Listen, yeah. I want to say something here. I want to bring it up. Like, well, we'll talk about meat, the natural human diet. You know, I've been eating a lot of meat. I'm not going completely carnivore, but, you know, meat is a very important part of my diet now. And that includes stuff like beef, pork, turkey, chicken, you know, and also veal. I've been eating veal. I went to the diner a few times. I know Danny isn't really wild about it.
No, you suck. No, you eat veal the way they're raised?
Yes.
Come on, Joe. You're cruel. Come on. These animals, they put them when they're born. They put them in stalls. They can't move. All they can do is eat and drink, and that's their life for like 3 months, and then they kill them. Right? So how can you support anything like that? You know, you gotta be a fucking jerk. Oh, you gotta be a jerk.
Oh, easy there, Danny. But the thing about it is, the way I look at it is, I don't do it. I couldn't do it. I could never do that. You know, I don't have it in my heart. However, those poor things, if they're going to do it anyway, I might as well, at least it wasn't in vain. I could at least eat the veal. You know what I mean?
Well, don't you have any guilt when you bite into that veal? That was a young calf that never enjoyed anything in life, never seen a pasture at all. Doesn't it hit your heart? What kind of guy are you?
What can I tell you? Yeah, but I have to take care of myself first over the animal. That's how I look at it. I rights for animals, but humans first. Humans first, animals second.
You can eat celery and carrots and stuff like that instead of meat.
No. You got to stick with the meat, the protein. All right, I got a lot of things I want to quote here. Everybody, hang on. I'll quote you all. First of all, Spring Hill Jim. Hey, Jim. He says, greetings, Joe and Danny. Second most anticipated reunion after the Gallagher brothers. And I wanted to bring that up. He's talking, of course, about Oasis, you know.
You know, when I get kinks in the back, I generally go to the desert.
The desert?
Yeah, desert. Oasis.
Yeah, Danny, I wanted to nail you on this, okay? Because you were saying that you were going to be going to the Oasis concert this year. They were going to be reuniting, and you were going to go. I thought it
You
was May, actually. Did you
No, no,
go?
it's August. It's supposed to be August,
Oh,
but I
oh,
think they're still in the UK. Oasis is a band from Manchester, England. My favorite band, uh, British band from the '90s. I haven't heard anything about Oasis being in North America. They're still in the UK, so I don't know. I haven't heard nothing about Oasis.
I should have known. I should have known. I honestly, if I would have bet money, I would have bet you would not go. I don't know.
Wait a minute, the concert didn't come yet. Didn't it wasn't here yet. So
Well, you don't have your ticket yet. You were talking about this a year ago, man.
they might even be sold out. I don't even know. Another problem is, my wife is going to have to wheel me all over in a stadium. You think it's good to go to a stadium with a wheelchair and stuff like that? I can walk, but to a certain degree.
Oh, I've,
But
I've seen people do it before. I mean,
I
I
know
know
your best
people.
cojones, in English would be balls. But we'll see what happens.
The
Yeah, that's another.
Oasis. Oasis.
Yeah, they're probably $300 a ticket.
Oasis forever.
Good band.
Well, it's not a fact. That's an opinion. Um, Now, Dave says, did you have the intention of bringing Danny back when you created the channel, or is it coincidence? I didn't have the intention when I started it. And then I thought, hey, this will be really good because the idea, like I said, lifestyle, living life, older guys talking about the world today. So it might
Well,
be a good thing.
well. Since he has a new channel now, so it doesn't interfere with his Beatles channel. Me, Mr. Mayo channel, or Cinemayo. So if we get shut down because of my mouth, it won't be so bad.
Yeah, I know what I got to say, Danny. I mean, I know what I'm in for here because you're going to go. You're doing good so far. Not too much chaos, but I expect more chaos in the next hour. And I know you're going. What I knew this was going to happen with you because I know you.
Now I was invited here. You knew I was coming.
Now, I was invited here. You knew I was coming.
Yeah, sure.
That's right.
Exactly. What can I expect from you? I know what to expect.
Joe, I love you. Tito, don't get jealous. Joe, I love you, Joe. I miss you.
Funny stuff. Okay, the reviews have not been good regarding Oasis.
I haven't heard anything, which is very surprising. But yeah, a lot of people don't like him because you got two brothers that fight all the time. Which I find it very interesting, and it's a motivation to write better music. They went solo. They're both doing very well solo, so that's a good thing. They split up because they write their own music. So you get more music out of them. But they're too. That's what else do you have besides your family? Your blood. Yeah, well, you have people, friends and stuff like that care about you. But you got two brothers. They're both rich, both famous. They both can write music, and they fight. It's unbelievable. Only in America.
It's like Simon and Garfunkel, friends always fighting.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and Hall and Oates. Come on.
Come on. I want to say hello to Robbie. Thank you for being here, Robbie.
Oh, good morning, Robbie.
Always good to see you. Yeah, this is I have so many titles here for my channel that I wanted to do, and I was going to put Manic Monday in there, but I was going to just write like, no more Manic Mondays or something like that. No more Manic Mondays. But I like the idea of Monday getting in there. So okay. Rolling Stones. Okay, I tell you a red door and I want to paint it black. No colors anymore. I want them to turn black. Okay, how's that? That's my Rolling Stones singing for you.
That's a great song by the Rolling. I love the early Rolling Stones. Play with Fire and Ruby Tuesday. Yeah,
yeah.
Those are great.
I love both those songs. You know it. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, I've seen Oasis a number of times. I saw Oasis at Nebworth in '96. That was a big weekend. I don't need to see them again.
Oh, you're lucky. Yeah, that concert's on video. I think that concert's on DVD. You know, I have one, but it's not that one. I have to look into it because they're really enjoyable to watch them because Noel Gallagher, he can play guitar very well, and of course his brother Liam, he's an excellent front man.
Robbie wants to know how your sugar's been lately. He's diabetic and he eats bad and his sugar's always high. So let's see.
You don't want to know.
I do want to know. And Robbie wants to know. What's the matter, Danny?
No, I gotta find it. Let's see.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not bad. It's not bad. Usually you're over 300 or 400.
Yeah, I didn't tell you, but I got a divorce.
No, you didn't. I know you
didn't. I divorced my devil dogs, ring things, and brownies.
Wow, that's really good, Danny. That's
separation and divorce. I don't eat them no more.
You said to me another thing. I was talking to you in January, I think it was wintertime, and I told you about me, eliminating sugar and stuff like that, and I was going to lose weight. And what did you say? You said, talk to me in June. Talk to me in June. Well, I'm down. As of today, I saw a new low number yesterday, and then today another new low number, 2 days in a row. So that's 36 down so far. So,
I know. I inboxed you. I told you I'm very proud of you. I know you can do it, but you remember in the past you would talk to me and say, yeah, I lost 3 pounds, and then the next day you say, I gained 6 pounds. I ate this.
6 pounds in a day. But no, what you're saying is that I would go off.
Yeah. There's one thing to eat normal. It's another thing to eat extra. The way you did. Yeah. I couldn't hold 4 slices of pizza.
No, and the funny thing is, pizza, stuff like that, there's not even a temptation anymore. Everybody who's ever tried this knows that if you stick with it long enough, it gets to the point where you don't miss it anymore. You don't even desire it anymore. And that's what's happened. You
gotta change your relationship towards food. Period.
Right.
Period.
Today,
sugar. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sugar does a lot of damage to your body. It destroyed my kidneys. I got kidney failure. I got 35% of my kidneys, plus because of diabetes. And you just got to change your relationship towards food. As simple as that. Ozempic. That stuff. My wife takes Ozempic. Used to take Ozempic. She'd be sick for 3 days, throwing up in the bathroom. Stomach will kill her. It causes stomach paralysis. I heard in some cases it causes blindness. They take that shit to lose weight. You got to eat sensible. It's plain and simple. Vegetables, fruit, and stuff like that. You got to watch 2 things: carbohydrates and sugar on the label, because it might say 2 grams of sugar, but at 38 carbohydrates. For a diabetic, 38 carbohydrates is a lot for one sitting. You know what I mean? And carbohydrates turns to sugar if you don't burn it.
I'm shocked to hear you talk like this, because you used to be,
I went from 242 to 223 because I wanted to lose the weight. I want to take the weight off. It brings you down. It makes you lazy. You don't want to do anything. You bend over to tie your shoes or put your shoes on. You can't breathe. What kind of shit is that? You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you mentioning that, because that's the truth, man. I don't have trouble anymore. It's easier to do all the put your socks on is easy. Everything's easy, man. Easier. So that's great. By the way, today I'll be getting together with my friend Anthony, and when I get together, I'm gonna have liver. I'm gonna watch him eat his freaking pancakes or whatever he's eating, or bread, and I'm gonna enjoy my liver with onions.
You shouldn't even be eating organ meat, because the liver's got they inject animals with hormones. Look, that's why you see a 12-year-old girl, she looks like she's 18, because the hormones they inject in animals and you consume that. So the hormones get in your body. What does it do? Why do they inject cows with hormones? So they grow fast. They get more meat out of them. Well, people are eating that stuff, and it's happening to them. You know what I mean?
Right. But my whole point of it is, it's impossible to avoid anything. I'm sitting here and I'm drinking water. The water comes out of a plastic freaking jug that they're talking about plastics, little microplastic fibers are in people's brains and in their blood and everything. This cup is plastic. You know what? Come on, man.
Oh yeah, you know those bags that you can put on a turkey. You put the turkey in a bag and you can put the bag in the oven. And cook the turkey. You think I trust that shit?
No.
What about chemicals from the plastic? Is it getting into the turkey? How much they know about this plastic they invented that you can bake with. You can put it in the oven and it don't melt. Come on, man. Go back to conventional.
I'm just saying, now granted, I could say, well, I could go for a glass instead of using plastic, use a glass. But the water's coming out of a plastic bottle. It's like you're never going to get it away from all of it. There's stuff everywhere. And people are talking about, I know Mick64 talks about this, seed oils. There's seed oils and everything. People say if you have seed oils, they're not good for you, and they stay in your body 6 years. 6 years. You know what? I mean, come on. I'm not going to avoid everything.
They found out that soy is not good for you. Soy is not really good for you, to consume.
Yes, exactly. I heard that too.
You gotta watch. When you buy water, you can't leave the plastic bottles in the sun because it heats up and then the chemicals go into the water, and then you drink it, and then you get cancer and croak.
Can we talk about you being so cheap? That's the next thing.
Well, we can talk about retirement. I want to tell you, there's good things and bad things about retirement. I'm going to tell anybody watching that's young, like you're in your 30s, start saving now because you can't live on Social Security. It was established as a supplement, right? Not to support you in your later years to pay your rent and car insurance and stuff like that. So if you don't start saving at an early age, by the time you're 62, you're screwed. Because I get $1,400 a month. Rent. I have my own home, but my taxes are $7,000 a year alone, just the taxes. So what's Social Security going to do for you? Nothing. I got to eat. I got to pay car insurance, cable, telephone, electric. Support my wife, buy her furs and jewelry and stuff like that.
No, you're a cheapskate. I remember from when we last were on here, you wouldn't even buy her a pizza.
No, she can make it at home much cheaper. Why pay $7? Why pay $7 for a slice when she can make it for $1.50?
I don't know who's cheaper, you or my friend Anthony. And I'll tell you an Anthony story recently. We got together the other day. He didn't want to go to a diner because it's too much money. So he wanted to go to a delicatessen. We went there and he got a sandwich or something. So we go to the delicatessen. My friend Anthony gets himself a sandwich, which he shouldn't be eating anyway because, he's got issues. He's diabetic. He shouldn't be having white bread. Anyway, then we come out of there. We're going back after we get our food. We go back towards the car. And he says, wait a minute, there's a dollar store here. I want to go in the dollar store to get water for my lunch. I want to buy a bottle of water. I said, wait a minute. We ain't going to no special dollar store. Go back into the deli where you just were. He wants to save $1 or something, or $2, whatever the hell it is. It probably wasn't even that much, a little bottle of water. But it just so happened that the dollar store was along the same strip of stores as the deli. So it didn't require having to go out of our way. It was on the way back to the car in the store's line. Anyway, and I'm watching him. The line was pretty long. And I'm standing there with a chicken cutlet, for my lunch. And I'm standing there watching him. And it's getting cold. And I'm watching him on the line, waiting and waiting and waiting for a freaking bottle of water to get 30 cents off or whatever the hell he's saving. But anyway, I hate that with people,
Well, you know what I mean? He's smart. He probably has a lot of money in the bank and he ain't going to tell you. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. I'm so many things are going. He probably got money, and you keep saying that he does not have a lot of money, Anthony. Okay,
How do you know?
he's my friend for 20-something years. I know him.
Matter. You only know what he tells you. Don't be so dumb.
Well,
'Cause-
you don't know Anthony. I don't. I do. Just by the way, did I say an official hello to Peter? I don't know if I did.
Oh, wait a minute, Marcus Thompson.
We'll be there.
Yeah, good morning. Nice to see you, bro.
Good morning. Good morning, Marcus.
Good morning. Yeah, we're missing some comments because you're talking too
Yeah,
much.
well, because we're talking a lot. You're gonna start that again about me talking too much on my own channel.
Joe, I get you on the phone for hours.
Not anymore. No, that's no more. Hello, Laura. Thank you very much. I think she's talking about eating better, I guess, which is I agree with. Thank you. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
I want to tell you. I'll tell you. See, as you get when you're young, it's the best time of your life. You know, enjoy yourself. You know, don't be jealous if somebody has more money than you or you anything like that. Just enjoy yourself. When you're healthy, you're wealthy. When you got your health, you got your wealth. You know, enjoy yourself. When you get older, like me and Joe, you know, especially me, because
for yourself, old man, Grandpa.
You're 63, I'm 69. Okay, I got things against me. Okay, so my enjoyment is to try to stay healthy and enjoy every day that I have. I don't need material things anymore because you can't take it away. You have enough shit here. You know, I have diabetes and I have chronic kidney disease. I got both. So with the two, diabetes, you have to watch your sugar. You got to keep your sugar down. With chronic kidney disease, you got to watch foods that contain phosphorus and potassium, because when your kidneys are not working well, those two elements there can cause you a lot of problems with your kidneys. So it turns out that you really can't eat much of anything because it's either got too much sugar or too much phosphorus and potassium. Like potatoes got a lot of potassium. Bananas, the highest of everything.
Yeah, bananas. I eat bananas. I have one banana a day.
You don't have kidney disease, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. You have good kidneys. I got 37%, you know, out of 100. So it's tough, you know.
Let's see now. Yeah, we already did a reading. Danny's sugar was good, right? That's pretty good. Your reading.
113, sure.
Yeah.
I don't
stay in and watch The Night Listener. I have not seen it.
Oh, Peter's pulling that shit again because I try to show you. Yeah.
Oh, that's that movie. Oh, I get it. That's that movie. Don't even go there with that. Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's the.
Oh, not this again. Ugh.
No, I'm not going to do it. That movie was filmed like 5 miles from me. It's a very good movie, in fact. Okay, and this is what he's referring to. Okay, that's not me, by the way. That's my niece's husband, and that's Robin Williams. That he was making The Night Listener in Montgomery, New York. It's a very good. It's a thriller. It's a very good film. It's a sleeper because I don't know if it went over too well, but it's really, really good.
All right, I don't really want to introduce the mutts here. You know, I mean, I really don't like that dog. I like dogs. I like Shelby. I don't like Lola. His dogs.
Yeah, Lola's laying down here beside me of it. She's very quiet.
That's a vicious dog. Very vicious.
Yeah, she could be vicious.
Did I say hi to Joseph? Hello, Joseph.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, Robin's in the other room. She's in the other room. She can't hear us, but I'll tell her. She said good morning.
Oh, he went the Elvis. I got to say, as much as I like Elvis, I think that picture he's got back there is better.
Excuse me.
Well, you can't. The thing is, I'm not monetized on this channel yet, so you can't donate money. By the way, if anybody wants to, you could do it over on the other chat live streams that I do on the other thing. Guess Danny didn't pre-order the mono Beetle box, and neither did I.
No. You know, I think I have every Beatles song. I'm pretty sure, not all these, what do you call them? Other recordings, BBC, all that crap. I don't have all that crap. I don't need all that stuff.
The word crap and Beatles don't mesh.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, well, the thing about this is it's such a true statement that youth is wasted on the young. Because you learn more as you get older. By the time you learn a lot, it's too late. Everybody thinks they know it all when they're in their teens.
I tell you what, I see the parking lot. My wife goes to shop, right? And I see these young girls pushing a carriage. I look at, sometimes I can see the child, I said, what thing, I'm glad I'm not you. I'm glad.
Ooh.
I think I was born the best time. I was born 1956. I grew up. I remember when the Beatles came to America. I remember hearing the Beach Boys at Brighton Beach, and I used to go to Brighton Beach. I was born and raised in Manhattan, New York City.
Why are you telling me this? I'm not interested in your life story.
You used to love doing that on the other channel. Very, I'll tell you the truth. But I used to go to Brighton Beach, which is in Brooklyn, and we had little portable radios, and you could hear Beach Boys and stuff like that, real time. It was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Now, they warn you in the news. You go to the beach, you have to watch all these bacteria and stuff like that. You can't even go in the water. And then not only that, you got the sharks now. You got sharks coming.
Oh yeah, sharks for a long time, Danny.
Ridiculous.
Oh, I don't think that was written about Anthony. No way. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I know, no offense to anybody out there that's got a new child or a new grandchild, but to me, when I see like somebody pushing a baby carriage or something in 2025, I think that kid is screwed, man. I'm thinking, wow, being born in 2025. Oh man, you missed it all. You missed everything, man.
By the time that they're 10 years old, all these bands that we know, Styx, Foreign, you name the bands, everybody's gonna be dead, gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
That's true.
It's jumping like flies now. We lost Bobby Sherman. You know what I mean?
Nobody lost. I mean, no offense. I like easy come, easy go is all right.
Or easy come, easy go. That's what happens when people spend the money. Easy come, easy go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Easy come, easy go. Enjoy your life, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Joe's a big spender. He likes to spend money. I like to save money. Because going back, you better start saving now. If you're young, put away money for your retirement, because you can't live on Social Security. It's not possible. It's not possible. You're going to end up on the street.
Yeah, it's not. It's possible, but luckily for me, I have Social Security. Hold that thought. I have Social Security, but I also have a pension and a little YouTube. That's it. And I'm with someone who we split everything. So that's how it works. Right.
And me, I have a 3-family home, so I have income. If I didn't have that 3-family home, I wouldn't be living where I'm living.
It's a money pit. A house is a money pit.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's. I don't get.
Joe. By the way, Joe, when are you moving?
Well, don't know yet. Still don't know. We're supposed to move one of these days.
Wait a minute. Wait. 2 years ago, it was 2023. You says, well, we'll be moving in a couple of years. Okay.
No, I never said that. I could never have said that. Well, I always say a couple of years. I don't know when.
Yeah, you did.
No,
so now,
no.
Wait a minute, let me finish. Now it's 2025. You said in the video, around 2027. Now, when 2027 comes, you're going to say, 2029, and you're going to go nowhere.
It might not be 2027. It might turn into 28. People might not know the whole story, but I'm not going to go into the whole thing again. But we do have a plan, and in the long run, the thing is, it may take longer than we wanted, but in the end, if we wait it out, the end will justify the means. It'll be worth the wait. That's the thing. Now, I could move now and be in a lot more financial turmoil if I move in sooner. But if I wait, how long it takes, whether it's a year, 2 or 3 years, whatever it is, it'll be worth the wait. That's why I'm waiting. Brian Wilson, that's a while ago. Brian Wilson passed away. Yeah. Danny, what's your favorite Beach Boys song?
Oh, I like what's that song? God Only Knows.
Oh.
Or Good Vibrations. Good Vibrations is a perfect song. It took them like 3 months to record that song in the studio.
Yeah, somebody played a bootleg of that at the record store. They had some kind of a bootleg or something, and it was like doing take after take after take of Good Vibrations. And I was like, I'm putting all the features in there, the special effects, and I thought this is I could have listened to all that. But my favorite Beach Boys song is "Don't Worry, Baby." So
yeah, that's a good song. Yeah, Brian Wilson was a genius. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He was a musical genius.
Well, although Mix 64, although I like the past better, I think there's such a thing as being born too early. And I'm glad your grandfather felt that way, but for me, being born 1895, that's too early. I think being born around 1950 or something like that, for me, the other thing I like is perfect. 1950 to 55, like in that area. Now, as long as you don't get drafted, that's the only downside for a man to being born then. But everything else, you have Elvis, you have the Beatles, you have so much stuff going on, and not just those two, but television and all this. You miss a lot of stuff if you're born too early, and you miss a lot of stuff if you're born too recent.
My father never believed they landed on the moon in '69. He used to, he used to call it it's a cartoon. He didn't know how to use the right words. Like hoax.
Yeah, that's what people think.
He never believed they landed on the moon.
I think it's pretty pathetic, that we haven't come that far since then. I mean, still, once in a while a rocket goes up, and that's it. But I mean, we're not doing anywhere near Star Trek yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll go back again. It's nice to spend money, but put some money in the bank and make believe you don't have it, and you'll be surprised you'll survive without it, and keep building up that savings account until you retire. Because if I had to live on $1,400 a month, you can't do it. That'd be my car insurance for a year for 2 cars.
Yeah, well, a year. Wow. Yeah. So anyway, well, I don't want to bring the party down or bring it back up after. But I was going to say, Danny, what's new with you? I mean, you're doing good right now, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I had a health scare. I'm smiling, but it's true. They scare the shit out of you. That's what they do. Okay. I get a call. I had blood work done in the end of May. Okay. And because I went to my primary doctor, they do your vitals and all that bullshit. So anyway, they drew blood. So like a week later, I get a call from my primary doctor's nurse. Okay. She says, you need to see a neurologist as soon as possible and endocrinologist. And endocrinologist is a diabetes doctor. Okay. My A1C was 9, which is not good. One time I had 11, but it was a 9, which the next time they take my blood, it should be a lot less because I'm doing very well. So I made the 2 appointments. I got scared because the way they say as soon as possible, that means there's something wrong, because you never speak to a doctor. So I called Crystal Run Healthcare to make the appointments. The diabetes doctor, I got in like within a week. The urologist, I had to wait almost 5 weeks for an appointment. They tell you on the phone, well, we're booked until August. You call in July, we're booked until the earliest I can get you in is September. You
Yeah,
know,
great medical care here.
I need a doctor now. I don't need it in September. September, I'm either going to be dead or cured. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's totally ridiculous. That goes. There's too many people in the world. The population up here is grew. So anyway, you got to wait. You got to wait 5 weeks. All right. So you're anticipating what they're going to tell you. You have to wait 5 long weeks. It's a 5 long. So you finally get to the doctor. And you get to the doctor, and there's a consultation, because they call it what they call it is a PSA test. PSA test is they're looking for prostate cancer. It's a urine test. They took my blood. That's good for a kidney doctor because my A1C. But the urine test tells them your PSA number for your prostate. So mine came up 7. Okay, normal is 1 to 4, 7. So that's high. So what they want to do is when it's 7 like that, is they want to take a biopsy of your prostate. Okay. So I talked to the doctor, and they gave me an appointment for a week later. So you have to wait another week to do the biopsy. Okay. And you go into the room. Okay. And you lay on your side, and they go up there with a probe, and they can see everything. It's like an ultrasound. They could take measurements of your bladder, your prostate. Mine grew like 40%, and then you hear this clipping noise. Clip. You could feel it. Clip. It's taking samples of your prostate. The cells. And it's very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable because they don't give you no sedation, and they go up your butt, and it's not a pleasant thing.
All right. I know you probably like that part, but anyway, go ahead.
So anyway, they take the samples, and then you go home, and then it was a Wednesday, and the following Wednesday you have to go back to get your results. Okay, so that's 7 days of torture.
7 days you were worried. 7 days.
I'm worried about my freaking results of this prostate, biopsy. So I go back, and I know this doctor. This doctor, Dr. Han, is very good. He's Korean. He operated on my kidney. He took the a little bit. He says low grade cancer. That really they take it out. It rarely comes back. It's 3 years now, nothing there. So he did surgery on my kidneys. So I know this doctor when he comes into it. You have the waiting room. That's another thing. Okay, after the 7 days, you're in the waiting room. And he's with somebody else. You got to wait another 15, 20 minutes for the doctor to knock at the door and then come in with his computer and tray. Oh, I'm telling you, it's a killer. But I know this doctor. When he comes in, the first thing he says, you have no cancer. He's right there. Boom. He hits you right away. You have no cancer. So I got very relieved. Like that.
You were worried about that, and I don't blame you.
Yeah, so
a whole week, and what about the percentage they told you?
Well, they told me before the biopsy, there's a 20% chance that you have cancer and 80% chance you don't have cancer. Because of the PSA test, it's not 100% accurate, and it doesn't always mean if the numbers are high that it's prostate cancer. So, but you worry, it sucks. You should have the biopsy done, and the next day at least have your results.
Yeah.
The waiting is torture. Yep.
Well, I'm glad to hear. I was so happy for you. And to tell you the truth, I had been thinking about doing this show, and I thought, well, let me wait to see how Danny does. And if he does well, which I'm so glad you did, then I say, okay, now let's celebrate. Let's do a show.
Right. Another thing, okay? I didn't feel anything. I feel wonderful. They did the urine test, and the numbers were high. I don't feel anything, and that's the trouble with prostate cancer. You don't feel anything until it's kind of too late, when it spreads to your bones and other organs. So it's very important. Nobody likes to go to the doctor. It's very important to at least get blood work. Okay, you have a history with your doctor. You get the blood work. Okay. And if it comes out good, fine. You enjoy it. If it comes something's wrong, they'll take care of it. There's a lot they can do today, but try to have a history with a doctor. You know, get your blood work done because you can have something and never really know.
Yeah, but
Hypertension.
look, a lot of people. I mean, I just had my blood work done in April, and everything was good. The guy was, because I started doing this new routine. Everything was good, and I put it in my first. I have a weight loss journey series, and if you look at my weight loss journey series, the first video, number one, I talk about it. Everything was good.
It's
So
good. It's good. You know, you can have an underlying problem and not even know it. That's why it's good to go. You know.
you got to go, but they'll sometimes
Example.
they'll analyze a ham sandwich. They'll find
Yeah,
something in you sometimes.
yeah. Well, they try to make money for the facility they work in. But hypertension, high blood pressure, is a silent killer. You can have hypertension and not even know it. Hypertension is when you got too much pressure on your arteries.
Right.
You know, it's like a garden hose. You know, a garden hose, you want it to spray further, you put your finger over the front of it, and then all of a sudden it shoots out. Like the same thing. That's where hypertension is. You don't know you have it, and it's a killer. You
Yeah.
know. So it's
All
good to
right.
know.
Well,
It's good to know what your blood pressure is.
yeah, not always. No,
And you
no,
could do.
that's,
Wait a minute, you could do that at home. You buy the. Don't buy the. The doctor told me, don't buy the
those
wrist.
things suck. They suck. I had one
You
of
buy,
those.
you buy the one where you strap your arm like that, and it takes you not even a minute to take your
They're
blood.
all different. I had baloney. I didn't get accurate readings with the one I had a while ago.
Well,
I
you
have
get
a
a roundabout figure. You know what I mean?
Well, anyway, so that's that stuff. Now, come on, where's everybody in the comments? Let's get going here. Okay, Danny told his story with a happy ending. Now, what's going on, folks? Because we're running out. All of a sudden, there's no feedback here. Because otherwise, what else are we going to talk about? There's probably a lot of things we could discuss, but I think we covered all our main topics that we used to talk about. You know, and I do believe, of course, I do believe in saving some money, in life. I've never been good at that, but you do
Oh,
have to have something.
I want to tell you about my wife's car. Okay, talking about how expensive things are. Okay, my nephew did her brakes. Okay, you don't know about brakes, but behind the brakes they have they call
Water.
a backing plate. The
Oh,
backing plate, right, prevents dust, dirt, and water to come into your brakes. Okay, and it looks like a dinner plate, right? It's metal, and it's got it's punch pressed. And I tell you what, it's nothing to it. Okay, so I needed the backing plates for the rear, left and right for a Toyota. Okay, I looked on eBay. I couldn't find the parts on eBay, but I found everything else: calipers, rotors, and all that stuff. Mercy brake kit on eBay. Okay, I had to go to Toyota for these two backing plates, they look like two dinner plates. There's nothing to it. Cost $311 a piece. So it come out to almost $700 for these two plates with tax.
yeah.
Unbelievable. Of course, you go to a dealer for parts, you're going to pay through the nose. You know what I mean? So everything's kind of expensive in life. So it's good to have a savings account. You got to put away. You got to forget about it unless it's an emergency. Then you have to withdraw some money. But it's
Live
good
for
to have.
today. Enjoy your life today, though, too, folks. Don't put everything away. Enjoy today, too.
I didn't say put everything away.
I
You put
know. I
something
know.
away.
Listen, this is something we talked about before the camera started rolling, and you know how I feel about this. This is my favorite time of year, folks. I love
Uh,
the summer, and I love July. I love the sun. I love warm weather, and I'm tired of people like Danny and other people complaining about the heat. So let's talk about it if you like.
Joe, if you like this weather, you got to have a screw loose. Okay. Now it's overcast, so it's not too bad. But this afternoon, about 1 o'clock, the sun will be out. You go outside, you can't breathe. You feel like you're suffocating to death. You stay out there for a half hour. You're gonna fry your brains. You know what I mean?
I love it.
How can you find anything pleasant about it? It's uncomfortable, sticky. You don't even want to touch your wife because she's sticky. You know what I mean? It's horrible. You know. I love it. I love when we get the cold front. We get that nice Canadian air that comes up from
Yeah, but
Canada.
that's all you hear. But everywhere I go, I'm trying to enjoy this time of year, and all I
Yeah.
hear everywhere you go is people. Everywhere I go into the record store. Oh my God, oh, it's so hot. Isn't it hot? It's hot today, right? Oh my God, I was dying out there. Oh, it reached 90 degrees. Shut the hell up. Let's talk about music, records. I mean, just enjoy. Just stop it.
It's horrible. It's horrible. You got to drink tons of water to stay hydrated. Then you got to piss a lot. It's a pain in the ass.
You should be drinking water anyway. By the way, the air conditioner in the living room now. I know I never changed the filter. It's time to or clean the filter. It's time to do it. But what I'm getting is that maybe you know about this stuff. The air conditioner is on, right? The air conditioner is on. It'll be all right for like hours. Like I don't know how many hours. You could have it on for like 4 hours or 3 or 4 hours. Nothing happens. All of a sudden, usually in the middle of the night, it'll start click, clack. It makes these noises like I call it like a click clacking sound or cracking, like cracking sound, and I shut it off. And it's only like when it's been on for like a few hours, and I don't know what that is.
Well, call your landlord and tell him something wrong. Should I give you a new one?
Obviously I should do that. Well, now we're in a position where we can because we really did a real good cleaning in that living room. So it's
presentable. Wait a minute. Let's get back to your thermostat. Whatever happened with your thermostat and the heat not shutting off?
I didn't talk about that too much. Yeah, we had a situation near the end of the winter or something where the thermostat, it doesn't work it anymore. It would stay high no matter what you did. It would stay like on 80. Even if you turn it down to 65, it didn't matter. It stayed at 80. We were hot in there. And then the summer came, so it didn't matter anymore because they just turned the heat on. But now there's no problem. I can call them about it because we got the place nice. That's all. We had to clean the place a little bit. It's beautiful now.
You got too much stuff. Yeah, you got too much stuff.
Oh yeah.
I got stuff too. You know what I mean? It sucks.
Yeah. You said you've been watching more movies lately. You haven't been online as much.
No, I haven't been online as much. I watch. It's a good channel, Lifetime Movie Network. It's a good channel because they got a lot of thrillers on there. With deception and women that cheat. So I like stuff like that. Thrillers. Very enjoyable to watch stuff, and it puts you in another state, But one thing about these Lifetime Movie Network movies, okay, all of them, they drink wine. They all live in multi-million-dollar homes. There's no homes like mine, normal. They're Superman. They're all millionaires. No average people. But the movies are good. The movies are very entertaining. You know what I mean? But
don't get me wrong, summer's great. I'm just asking for a freaking breeze. I agree with. Look, even though I love the summer and I don't mind it hot, I don't love humidity either. It's very uncomfortable. Who likes humidity? I don't like the humidity, but I accept it. The best I can. I do prefer a little breeze, even if it's a little breeze.
Yeah, when we get we get days where it's nice and comfortable, and you get a nice cool air, stuff like that. The air's from Canada, which is beautiful. Okay, well, another thing about the heat and humidity is you get tons of more bugs.
Yeah. Hey, there was something going on. I remember, speaking of bugs, right? You have dogs, and there were ticks that were going on your dogs and making them ill and stuff. And I remember when we used to tell everybody who doesn't know what you used to do to get even with those ticks.
My wife was laughing. She's got an ear. She said she can't hear it. And she's full of shit. My husband, Robin. She'll answer me. I go into the other room.
Let me tell you something. A tick hasn't got a chance in Danny's dogs. If they bother his dogs, Danny gets even. Tell him about it.
Well, ticks don't like the extreme heat and dry weather. They like it cool and damp. Okay. So I got 3 dogs. I got Lola, Shelby, and Baby. Okay, 3 dogs, and I live in the country. They're fenced in. They got a big area where they could roam around. These dogs are like millionaires. They're very fortunate compared to other dogs. So when they come in, I don't believe in using those. You see commercials there. You give your dog a chewable. Okay, it keeps fleas and ticks away for 3 months. You're giving your dog poison.
Yeah.
If a dog can eat something like that, and any ticks that land on them or fleas, they die. There's something wrong. So, and I don't believe in the collars. The same thing as poison, or the tubes they give you put on the neck. I comb them with my fingers, and you can feel ticks right away when you brush your dog. You go up and down the neck. You can feel ticks, and then I pull them out. When I pull them out, all right, I'm ready for execution. Sure, get the king. But I do this for real because I don't want him to survive and get something else or land on me. So what I do is I go over to the ashtray, okay, and I look at it and I said, "Well, you're about to end." And I get my big lighter like that, and I watch them pop. You're gone. You want to play with my dog? Okay, it's execution. No jury.
Yeah. He kills ticks, this guy.
I tell you what, I don't know what their purpose is, but they're fucking nasty. Excuse me, they're nasty. They can cause you. Robin's got Lyme disease. It can cause major problems if you don't get treated with Lyme disease.
And sometimes, what do you say? I mean, you actually say, what did you used to say?
And they got the word Lyme's because this was discovered in Lyme's, Connecticut. That's the name of the place, Lyme's, Connecticut, where
I don't care about the history of Lyme disease. All I want to know is when you're doing this, don't you say something that you used to say? About my dog, you used to say something like that with the tick.
Oh yeah, you want to bite my dog? I'll fix your ass. I say a lot of things, different things. Oh yeah, I hate them bastards.
All I know is you're not being consistent in a way because you always talk about, like, if I eat veal cutlet, you say, "Oh, those poor animals," and they kill the animals and go to you see a slaughterhouse with meat and all this, but yet you don't mind torturing a poor tick and killing a tick.
Well, they're trouble. Like if you got mice in your house, are you going to let them live or are you going to try to get it?
A mousetrap. I do. I mean, I make sure you got to see it. You got to see it die.
Because they're rodents. They have no bladder. They piss anywhere they are. Mice have no bladder, so they don't piss anywhere. They shit. They chew on your wires and stuff like that. Well, ticks can cause disease. The tick can go from the dog to me and make me very sick. So naturally, that's one less tick. They're nasty. Hey, you can't even. With this humidity at nighttime when the sun goes down, you sit outside, all of a sudden you get the friggin' mosquitoes. And you ever get bit by mosquito? If you let a mosquito bite you completely and take your blood, you won't get that itch where you got to scratch. Yeah, if they go to get you, you feel it. They're going in, and you kill them like that. You're going to start to itch there and get a lump because they didn't finish their process of drawing your blood. There's another nasty thing that causes disease is the mosquitoes. And with this high humidity, they multiply. All this rain, we got too much rain.
What do you think about? You know how much I hate the Hallmark Channel. My
I don't watch that channel. No.
I hate that channel with that crap. And not only that, the thing is, in July, they started in June actually. They have Christmas shows, Christmas movies. When I walk in and I see that, I get sick to my stomach. I don't want to hear Christmas carols and see Christmas ornaments and snow in July. I want to enjoy the summer.
Yeah, I don't watch Hallmark, I don't even think we have that channel.
No, we do not. We do not.
I don't know where you are, but one thing about spiders, they're very useful. They eat bugs, they make their web and
they have the bad bugs.
Yeah, the only thing about compare spiders and snakes, okay? Snakes snakes don't bother me. Robin picks them up in the yard and moves them because my Lola will kill them, you know. But spiders is another thing because they hide. They come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, they're on you or they're close to you. But I'm more afraid of spiders than snakes. But I never got stung by
Remember that song? I don't like spiders and
yeah,
snakes.
Jim Stanford. Yeah, spiders.
I bought that 45 in '74.
Yeah, I got a couple of his albums. Yeah, he was pretty good. He did novelty songs, you know.
You know, I can't. You know, I make you laugh because I can't make up my mind. I went on my high horse saying how I'm getting rid of my vinyl and all this stuff. And the other day I was at the record store. They got a really nice turntable and with a nice blue Ortophon cartridge and beautiful Bose speakers, and everything sounded great. I was playing the records there. I said, you know what? I like records. I like records again. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. 1 minute it's like I'm going to sell them. I already sold a bunch of records, Beach Boys, other things. Yeah. Now I want them again.
You know what it is? CDs are so much easier. Records, you got to clean them before. If you don't clean a record, you put it on a turntable. Just taking it out of the sleeve with the paper, you get dust. And what happens? You start playing a record, all of a sudden the dust builds up on the stylus like that, and you can hear. You have to go over, take it off, clean and put it back, and then you have to clean the records. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. CDs are so much easier, but yet I think that's part of the appeal of vinyl records.
They sound good. It depends on the equipment you got. It depends what you're playing it on. If you're playing it on some cheap Crosley player, it's not going to sound great. But if you got halfway decent equipment, it's going to sound great.
Those blue cartridges cost a penny. That's what I hear.
Yeah, that might be a couple $100 for that cartridge, but it'll last you a couple thousand.
Let me ask you: do you, when you play, if you ever play records, I don't know, do you use like a cartridge, or are you so cheap that you just take like a little needle and thread, and take the needle and put it on yourself like that?
No, not really. I don't want to damage my records. I like Audio Technica cartridges, or Pickering. Pickering, I don't think they're in business anymore. They were good, but Audio Technica I have. I have a decent one. It cost me like $225.
I started I'm saying you got to be like I thought I would get rid of a lot of records, make a lot of money back.
Yeah.
And then when I move one day, which I will, I won't have as many record albums to lug across the states. You know what I mean? But now it's like, no, I might wind up. I'm still getting rid of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of extra stuff that I could liquidate out of here.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, in your case, if you don't listen to this stuff, if you haven't listened to something in 2 or 3 years, maybe it's best to get rid of it, because a lot of your time is consumed by your 3 channels now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Answer the comment, and then people ask you to come on that channel, join that chat. You got no time for anything. So, and then when you got to move all that crap, it's a lot of weight. I'm surprised. Don't you worry about your floor collapsing?
I don't go into that again. No, I do not. After 10 years living here, no. Now, as far as
I can't help it.
Wait a minute. It only takes one more record, and then you have a collapse.
Yeah. As far as VHS tapes go, now there's something that I personally have no use for at all. I mean,
I got all mine.
I'm going to be getting rid of what?
I got all mine. I never threw them away. I got 3 machines that play VHS, and I have all my stuff I take from HBO, all my comedy specials and things like that. I still have it today.
Well, no, the popcorn bucket. Nobody even met. It's sitting up there. It's sitting here, back here. I'm not gonna.
I seen it, James. I see. He's got 2 of them, in fact.
Well, yeah, the one is the fake and the real one, and the fake one weighs a ton. Well, not a ton, but it's heavier. And the fake one.
I like the color better too. It's darker. I like it. It's more like a great white.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The fake one looks better. It's darker.
Yeah.
3 or 4 laser discs, but the players are full. Yeah, laser discs I also have no use for, actually. But I have a few for collectible reasons.
Yeah, I never had one. What? Laser disc. player. Thank you, Dino. You come in second.
Yeah, you got to give him his money now. You got to pay him the money for complimenting you. Yeah. So.
Yeah, cartridge makes a big difference in the way a record sounds. Some cartridges are very bright, you know, in sound. You know, some are more bassy, you know, and then your speakers got a lot to do with it. You know, you know when you buy speakers, you got to audition them. You have to, because certain speakers are made. They sound better with classical music or jazz. Some speakers are made sound better for rock music or whatever. You know, you got to audition them because they look nice and stuff like that, fancy and stuff like that. Doesn't mean you're gonna like the sound that they put out. You know, got to be auditioned. There's a lot to stereo. You'd be surprised. It's the equipment you got. You know.
Sure. Yeah, it's a big involvement with the stereo equipment, getting it all set up and having the right match.
It's what you want. If it sounds good to you, that's why to tell you the truth, Joe don't like it, but and I don't use them a lot because when I got them on, I don't know what's going on around me. If somebody's calling or Robin's headphones, you got a good pair of headphones. It's the greatest sound there is. I got Sony digital reference headphones that cost $300 30 years ago. They sound so awesome. It's the best way to listen to music, but I don't listen to music that way. I got Yamaha speakers. You know, I got tower speakers, Yamaha, you know. And I got Onkyo equipment. I love Onkyo. The stuff made today is not made in Japan anymore. Onkyo, it was made in Japan, you know. The stuff from the 80s, 90s was fantastic, you know, sounding. Now it's
I still have an Onkyo receiver that has to be hooked up. That I
got DVD player, cassette. I got two cassette players. You know, they call them separates. You know, they get connected to your receiver or amplifier. You know, called separates. All Onkyo. You know, good. It was good stuff. You know.
Sure.
But hey, you gotta remember when you're 69, you hear. Well, my hearing is pretty good, you know. But I'm sure from the time I was 30 to now, there's a little difference. But my hearing, as far as listening to music, you know, I can hear cymbals, this and that. It's pretty good, you know. I hear. I consider myself to hear excellent, you know. But some people, as they get older, you know, the highs, they can't hear the highs as well, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta be satisfied, you know.
Will you buy the new Alice Cooper band album?
Most definitely.
I've never watched the Hardy Boys, and I never did.
I think the album comes out. I think the Alice Cooper album comes out July 15th of this year, and it's with the original Alice Cooper band, except for Glenn Burton because he passed away a long time ago. But you're gonna have Neil Smith, Dennis Dunaway, Mike Bruce, Alice Cooper. You know, the original band. The original band ended. Muscle of Love was the last album with the original Alice Cooper band, and then you know. But I love the latest stuff too, like Welcome to My Nightmare.
You're kidding.
Joe gets a kick out of that for sure.
Headphones are great. I can't stand the people who use headphones at the wrong time, such as walking across a railway crossing. I just saw a guy did a video where I don't know what this is. He has his phone, and you could put it on something on the dash and watch it while you drive.
Good.
I am against that big time, big freaking time. Don't be behind me and do that in a traffic jam or something where we're moving a little at a time or something, you know.
That's another thing that scares me this day and age. Okay, when you're driving, okay, you got teenagers that like to text while they're driving, and they did a study at 55 miles an hour. You keep your eyes off the road 3 seconds, you could be in the other lane, right?
Yeah.
Very scary when you're driving and you don't know who's coming the other way. Is it some kid on a cell phone? Because that's what they do. They can't wait. You know, it's not like you're a surgeon or you're very important. You know, it's one kid talking to another. What are you doing tonight? This and that, and then they get themselves killed. You know how many teenagers probably get themselves killed because they're on a cell phone? You know, we don't hear about all that stuff, but I'm sure it happens.
Something that's happening more and more on the road when I'm on a parkway or something is these zigzaggers, and they're really bad. I noticed a couple of times one guy ran one guy off the road and kept going. You know, he kept going. A guy was behind me. This happened twice recently with different cars. Guy was right behind. You know, you're on there. You're going. You're doing 65 or whatever you're doing. And you see somebody behind you, and he's like right. He's like fast, and he's like on your ass like this. And I'm like, what's he doing? He's kissing my bumper. Then he's like, he goes around you, and then he goes like in somebody else, and then around again. And he ran a guy off the road once, and they kept going. Like, you know, I think he hit him really. He tapped him.
Aggressive drivers, and you gotta watch. You can't open your window and throw them the finger or tell them to go fuck themselves because they might pull out a gun and and use it.
All right. Yeah, these days it is what it is. It ain't what it is.
You know what happened yesterday? You know what happened yesterday in New York? This 90-year-old guy was walking across the street, and some kid with a moped hit him and killed him. Oh, I can't even say that word.
You have to. Yeah, you got to watch a lot of stuff here these days.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because that's what it is. You know, I don't know if you got to watch it or not. Who the freak knows?
And the kid ran off. It was
oh yeah.
Why? Now, if they catch him, he's in big trouble. If he wouldn't have ran away, you know. First of all, the moped was coming, and the guy started walking across the street. So whose fault is it? But you don't run away. You know, it's ridiculous.
Doc was lost without his clips last night. I haven't been watching Doc lately, and I'm wondering what he doesn't use clips anymore. What happened? You know, have you been? What is this about? I don't know.
Oh yeah. I with this heat and humidity, I gotta cut the grass every 5 days because the grass grows quickly in this kind of weather. The lawn grows quickly. Yeah, I drive my tractor like every 4 or 5 days. You know, I try to do it when it's in the evening or overcast. It's best to do it when the sun's not out because believe it or not, the sun is not good for you. You know, it's very damaging.
It is good for you.
No.
Yes, it is.
They tell you on the news to wear sunblock because you can burn in 10 minutes. Wear sunblock.
Well, no, it's good for you.
Melanoma. Yeah. It causes melanoma, skin cancer. The most deadliest cancer there is, skin cancer. Melanoma.
Look, too much of anything is not good for you, but you get vitamin D from the sun. The sun is good.
You can get vitamin D from drinking a glass of milk. That's a lot of baloney.
Yeah, you got other problems with milk, lactose, and all this stuff.
I don't believe in taking vitamins unless.
And where can lactose come from?
I don't believe in taking vitamins unless you get blood work and they tell you, well, you need some vitamin D, vitamin A, because everything shows up in your blood work.
All right, I want to find out about this. Okay. Well, I actually like this news, not for Doc, but I'll explain this. It says instead of 20 hours, Doc now only gets 2 a month. StreamYard changed. It may be the end of his show. Free StreamYard is going from 2 hours, 20 hours a month to 2. It's about flipping time. I'll tell you why I say that. Now, I'm not saying this for Doc. You know, God bless him. I love Doc and, you know, his show and cool and all that. But what I'm saying is people getting these free rides. Oh, everybody wants everything for nothing. You know, the StreamYard costs like $45, $50 a month right now if you want it for a month. And people are going around 20 hours free every, a month. It's like, you know what? Pay up. You know what I mean? And not for nothing. If there are any other options, you can take other options. I won't name them, but there's other options where they're cheaper. They only cost you $15 a month or something like that, or whatever. I stick with StreamYard because I like StreamYard.
You gotta remember, nothing stays the same. Everything changes. Okay, people that used to change. Even when I go on, like if you don't go on Facebook for a long time, you turn Facebook on, you find out there's different things that you didn't have before. They're always changing. Everything changes. You know.
Well, that maybe maybe that's a good thing. It may shut some people up too if they can't stream live for free anymore. Also, maybe the end of Ski Lodge. Okay, that's another thing. Hey, look, pay up. What can I tell you? You know, and there's, like I said, there's cheaper options in StreamYard if you want to go there. But no, I don't think some people, people should be paying other people get a free ride. I don't get that.
Amen.
So
my wife. You know what my wife is doing right now? She's painting.
So
she's doing a little bit of trim. We painted a couple of months ago. And
she painted a couple of months ago.
Oh,
she had
well, Joe knows. Yeah, she had foot surgery. You know that, right?
No, I did. I might have heard something about that.
Yeah, she had foot surgery in March, and she had the boot on for like almost 3 months, but now it's off. It's been off. But yeah, it was the back of her heel. She had calcium buildup there. And
I don't need to know all the details. That's okay.
I heard you intended.
Danny, you can be really annoying sometimes. You haven't been too annoying today because I missed you. But when you go into all the details, you're kind of annoying.
You should stop being annoying to me.
Well, this is the kind of live stream I like. I don't want to ruin your mean Mr. Mayo channel, but I like to tell things the way it is, And at least if they shut this one down, it won't be so bad.
Don't give me that crap. I got you on a leash, and you'll do what I allow you to do here. You're not going to go crazy.
Oh, shit. Oh, Mayo. Yeah, there's a lot of things today. You gotta. You know what John said one time? While there's life, there's hope.
Right. He said that hours before he got murdered.
I know, but the intentions were there.
That he got murdered. He said that hours
before. I know, but that happened that way. It has nothing to do with what he said. But that's a good side. The second side is about life. It sucks. Shit.
While there's life, there is hope.
I enjoy it. There's good and bad days. With everything. Things. There's a lot of good people in the world. Not everybody's bad.
Dino, I don't know off the top of my head about this. Hey,
Joe, one thing you got to look forward to, okay? No tax on Social Security.
I don't want to get into that right now. It's too political. Well, first of all, when I move, I'll be enjoying that where I move to. But I think that's going to be a limited thing.
But Joe, like just like moving, it's like remember we were talking about collecting Social Security at 62 instead of waiting 65 because you lose all that money.
Right.
The same thing is with moving. Okay, let's say now you're paying $2,000 a month. Okay,
Joe.
Let's say you're paying $2,000 a month, so that's $24,000 a year. Okay, so we got to wait another 3 or 4 years before we move. So in 3 or 4 years, look at all that money that you spent for rent.
Nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do about it. You have to live now. No, it doesn't work.
You can go down south and move in a townhouse like you live in because they own by.
I don't live in a townhouse anymore. That's the point. No townhouse. Private. It's going to be a full house. No more townhouses. No more complexes. No more upstairs, downstairs, sidewalk.
Oh, so you plan on mowing the lawn and taking the leaves out?
I don't have to mow the lawn. The landlady's going to mow the lawn.
No, she might get ill and she can't do it no more.
No, she loves it. She does it all the time, or she is now. And here's the thing. I told you this before on our old live streams. If the worst case scenario should happen, that I have to take care of it myself, which won't happen because I'm a tenant. But if it turns out that I do have to take care of it, I'll simply pay the money. And how will I be able to afford it? Because I'll be saving so much money by that move that I'll have extra money.
Yeah, then you'd be spending it on lawn cutting and stuff like that. So you're back in the same boat.
Well, I don't have any property taxes because I don't have property, so that's okay. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's cheap.
I keep telling you, I'm hedging my bets here, and I'll if I have to eat crow one day, which I hope I don't, I'll eat the crow. But right now, I'm pretty sure hedging my bets that the waiting is worth it in the long run for this. Yeah, I know what you're saying. In the meantime, you're still giving money out in the meantime, but in the long run, it'll be much cheaper per month to live. Way cheaper, a lot cheaper.
Does this person watch your channel?
What?
Does this person?
What are you brushing? Skin?
I don't hear. Hey, does this person watch your channel or doesn't know you have a channel?
No, I don't believe
They don't
so.
know. Yeah. So this person, okay. First of all, you told me this year that there's changes in the college there, and she's going to get out.
Now I hear it's going to be May. That's what I hear next year, around your birthday.
Right, next year. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
but
see.
that's just to retire. Then she got to sell her current property and get new property.
On that now.
Oh, her current property, if it's a decent place, depending on where she lives, is she like down there?
I think it's fine. I think it's
Oh yeah, no problem with selling the property.
I don't think that, I wouldn't think, not that I'm an expert on this, but I wouldn't think there's any problem with that.
Okay, so you're gonna be living with these people in the same house?
No, we live in us, just myself and my girlfriend in the house. No, they got two properties, their house and our house.
They're gonna buy two houses.
All right, look, it's all somehow within. I don't know the whole deal. It's somehow within the same package or something. If they get like it, they're on the same land.
Did you dream this or was it for real?
No, I didn't dream anything. No, it's okay. She's already researched it and went to look.
Oh, good. I wish you the best.
Well, I know. We're just having fun here. King of Chaos.
Are you going to be close to me? I'm upstate.
If I can help it. No way.
I'm upstate New York.
That's messed up, Joe.
Well, the thing is, I'll try to wait till Danny's out of the picture. You know what I mean? Visit Robin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You reminded me of one of those Lifetime Movie Network movies. Oh, yeah. It's all the plots to kill off the husband like that so they could be together. Oh, it's some cool shit. I love that stuff.
Sure. Yeah, Florida would be my number one pick to live, except for the fact that let me finish. Except that I'm worried about hurricanes. That's the only reason.
I don't blame you. You live inland. You don't live by the water. You stay away from the water. Oh shit! Joe, we had earthquakes here in New York. What are you talking about?
Come on, will you?
Yeah, Robin felt
3 years. I don't remember anything really bad in freaking New York.
You feel the tremor?
Yes.
Last year, the house moved a little bit. You can feel.
The house moved a little bit. Once every 40 years, it goes. Are you freaking serious?
Well, when you get little ones, then you might get a big one too, because it's rock sliding. They're rubbing against each other, on the ground.
Sure, Danny.
Oh,
we're running to the end of a line here because I got to get ready to leave, unfortunately. So I was going to be able to stay on a little longer originally, but I have to leave earlier than I thought I did. So
I can't take
inland.
Nah, you guys are having fun.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'd also like Arizona as well. Arizona or Florida, I'd like.
Well, the thing about Arizona, excuse me, it's dry heat, so it can be 110 degrees there, which is like the norm, but it doesn't feel the same because the air is dry.
Well, Richard James, you know, you were one of the first ones. He says, when I said that Danny was going to be back, he said, "Oh, my prayers have been answered." And then his prayers, if you had prayers and you wanted them back so much, what are you doing here 84 minutes into the stream instead of coming at the beginning? You knew it was going to be 8 o'clock.
Hello, Mr. James. What's happening, dude?
Let's see Chucky before you leave, please. You have
Oh, I know. You know what? I think he took off because I can't find him. I'll be honest. I don't know where the hell.
Good, I'm glad.
I put him away. Hang on.
I don't know. Wait a minute. I don't have that much time.
No.
I don't know where Chucky went. I swear I haven't seen him.
Next time. Find it for next time. We'll do it next time.
Yeah, he might have to go.
I gotta say, because this guy, and after I get off, this guy don't stop talking. You know, I gotta get out of here. So
once we get off, I can't talk too much longer.
I gotta get out of here. Okay. So anyway, this has been a load of fun. This has been a great live stream. If Danny would like, I would like to do it at least once a week. You know, so you know,
yeah, sure.
No money. No
contract this year.
No contract yet. But if we do this, folks, I'm thinking of Fridays. You know, just like today, Friday mornings at the same time. So stay in touch. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Well, of course, I'm going to leave the stream. Well, I am leaving the stream up. I say, of course, Richard, but sometimes it's not of course. Sometimes I do delete them, but these will stay up. So I'm glad everybody's enjoyed this. And some of our regulars were not here. I mean, I know names that we used to have and that weren't here, and I don't understand. I gave the heads up over there that we're going to do this. So hopefully next time, a lot of people that we miss from the mornings will come here. So also keep in mind that I have 2 other channels, one of them being Mean Mr. Mayo. Mean Mr. Mayo, I do my own solo Mayo live stream. I'll be doing one tomorrow, probably around 4 p.m. Eastern on my Mean Mr. Mayo channel. And then I also have a situation where I have a movie channel, Mr. Cinemayo. And on Monday nights, we do a live stream over there. It's sometimes late afternoon, sometimes evening. Mr. Cinemayo, the movie discussion. Thank you, Danny, for coming back. It's been a lot of fun.
Joe, thank you and everybody watching. It was very enjoyable. I had a good